I'm a sewing pro who makes learning to sew easy, and the number one question I get asked is, how do I start? The universal follow-up, how do I get good at sewing? This video answers that. I'm going to share the ancient, tried and true Japanese methods for perfect sewing. They are how I learned, and you can too. There's 3 methods that make all the difference. The first one is finding something called ikigai. This is a Japanese concept that represents the intersection of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for, leading to a life of balance, joy, and purpose. Why is this important? Because there are many genres of sewing, and you need to find the one that speaks to you, feels the most natural to learn, has readily available supplies, and brings you joy. Sewing requires lots of ripping out and redoing. If you don't love it, you definitely don't want to have to do it 5 times. Now that you've identified the type of sewing that's most enjoyable to you, let's move on to the second Japanese method that will move you the most toward perfecting your craft. It's called Kaizen. Kaizen is a Japanese term meaning change for the better or continuous improvement. It's a philosophy focused on making incremental, ongoing improvements in all aspects of life, particularly in business and work processes. I love the quote from Coach Vince Lombardi. Practice doesn't make perfect. Only perfect practice makes perfect. Obviously, you can't start out perfect, so it's something you move towards with incremental improvements. This is also the method that Toyota still uses to this day to perfect their manufacturing process to create the highest quality, longest lasted vehicles that they can. For someone who sews, Kaizen means you are continually improving your ergonomics, making sure your sewing steps are simplified and as lean as possible. Even planning where you place your tools and machinery so that reaching can be efficient and based on muscle memory makes a huge improvement over time. I can't emphasize this practice enough. It's had a profound impact on my sewing. Have you heard of Kaizen? When learning a new seam, for instance, don't just sew it once into your new garment. Get some scrap, similar fabric and sew it 10 times at least until the motions feel smooth to you. When you do this skill stacking over time, you will get closer to excellence in your trade. Before we discuss the third step to sewing perfection, please hit subscribe so you don't lose track of me. I offer sewing tutorials and sewing lifestyle content. The third most important point I have toward reaching perfection is that knowing true perfection can only be achieved in the intersection of Ikigai and Kaizen. It's the striving for seamless efficiency married with the joy of doing something you know you were born to do that brings perfect balance to you on the inside. You'll never be good enough to present a perfect project that can withstand deep scrutiny and without a single noticeable flaw. The perfection comes into play when you feel the balance of creative flow with a very solid quality result.